Okay, so we're now going to do number 3 on the syllogism worksheet. So number 3 says all historical dates are things that are hard to remember. So I'm going to abbreviate that. All historical dates, so HD, are things that are hard to remember. So I'm just going to say RHR. All historical dates are hard to remember. The second premise says some historical dates are things that are helpful to know. Some HD. Now, things that are helpful to know, I'm going to put HK. And the conclusion says some things that are helpful to know are hard to remember. So some HK are HR. So some things that are helpful to know are hard to remember. Okay, so this is one of those where I'm really thankful that we're studying the form of the argument and not the actual content, because all of these terms are making me really confused. So I am going to draw a picture to help me determine, does my conclusion have to be true based on what it says in my premises? So I'm going to draw my first premise, and my first premise says that all historical dates are hard to remember. That means if this is my hard to remember category, all of the historical dates are inside of that category. Now, my second premise says that some historical dates are helpful to know. So I just need at least a part of my historical date category to be intersecting with a helpful to know category. I don't know how big my helpful to know category is, but I'll just draw something and give it a shot. So let's say that this right here is my helpful to know category. And it's saying that some of my historical dates are also inside of that helpful to know category. So that's this stuff right here. Okay, so there's my two premises. And my conclusion, I'm trying to figure out, does my conclusion necessarily have to happen? My conclusion says some things that are helpful to know are hard to remember. Does it have to happen that some of the helpful to know category has to be intersecting or lining up with the hard to remember category? And I would say 100% yes, that has to happen, because we know that these two are matching up with each other right there. And I know that the entire historical date category is inside of the hard to remember category. So there's obviously going to have to be a place where the helpful to know and the hard to remember are lined up. And so this argument right here is very clearly valid.